Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. I'm your host, and today we're diving into an exciting topic, setting up a monorepo for a project called Config. Now, if you've ever wondered how large projects manage their code bases efficiently, this episode will definitely shed some light on that. So let's kick things off with the basics. What exactly is a monorepo? Well, think of a monorepo like a large library where all the books, in this case, all your projects, are stored under one roof. This setup allows developers to manage multiple projects more seamlessly and keeps dependencies centralized. Now, I recently came across the config repository, and it's an impressive piece of work. The first step in getting started with config is to clone the repository to your local machine. It sounds easy, right? Just run the command git clone/github.com fig-dev/-recursive. After that, you'd navigate into the clone directory. Just make sure you pull all its submodules. It's like unraveling a gift. There's more than just what you see on the surface. Once you have it set up, you need to configure your environment. Have you ever set up Postgres? It's like establishing a home for your data. You'll be running it as a background process, which means it's working quietly, ready to serve your app without annoying interruptions. Now, if you're using a Mac, you'll probably want to install Postgres using Homebrew. Simple and effective. After a quick initialization, you've got a fresh database environment to work with. If you're anything like me, you might find joy in seeing these systems come to life. And let's not forget about the all-important .env file. It's basically your project's secret hideaway for sensitive information like database URLs and AWS keys. Imagine it as a vault that only your application can access. What I find interesting here is how security is handled. You can change your session secret, and just like that, you can log out all users at once. It's a bit like changing the locks on your house. Only the trusted ones get to come back in. Once you've got your environment all set, it's time to run config. You'll need to initiate your node modules in config-. Think of it as getting your tools ready before starting a home improvement project. After that, running the migration command sets up your database. It's like laying the foundation before building your house, so essential. Now, I'd say one of the most exciting parts is running the server. With just one command, yarn dev, you bring everything to life. It's like flipping the switch and watching your hard work unfold. Oh, and here's a pro tip. If you're using IntelliJ, there's an added layer of convenience to manage your generator. It's great to see how development environments are evolving, providing more ways to streamline the process. So, as you can see, setting up a monorepo like config involves a series of thoughtful steps and configurations, but it's rewarding to see it all come together. Before we wrap up, I'd like you to think about this. What project are you currently working on that could benefit from switching to a monorepo? Have you experienced any hurdles in collaborative environments? I'd love to hear your stories. That's all for today's episode of Tech Talk. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to keep experimenting and building. Who knows what you'll create next?